morning. When is my Good morning, live from Capitol Barbershop in Walla Walla. It's Merf. Hope everybody's doing well. Busy on the road, as you know, supporting the brand. So I'm taking advantage of while we're doing this, and I'm going to get a haircut. And I see it's my turn. Good morning, Jessica. This is Jessica, everybody. So I think it's important about the new wine brand that we're coming out to kind of tell the story. So I'll start with my background and how we got to here today. I grew up in Iowa, in Green, Iowa, on the family farm. My brother still lives there. He's in the house that my great-grandfather built. And in 1990, he gave me a $1,000 loan. Thank you, Mike. And my brother, oh, thank you, Jessica. My dad must have been getting a new car because he gave me his 1979 Buick Park Avenue, and I loaded up everything I owned in that car, which, if you guys remember those cars, it was huge, and everything I owned fit in there easily. And I drove out to Seattle with one short stop for a rainstorm in South Dakota, but landed in Seattle in 1990, and probably within an hour or two with being in the city, a buddy of mine took me down to the Fremont district in Seattle and went to the Red Door, and I had a craft beer. It was an ESB beer, and it changed my life. I'd never had a beer like that in my life growing up in the Midwest, and this was all full flavored. Craft beer was taking off back then. Big movement. I was doing different kinds of construction jobs at the time, and was home brewing, and my brother-in-law and I got pretty good at brewing, and I loved making beer and drinking beer. And then I went to beer school. Yes, there is beer school. And when I got back from beer school, I told my wife, I really want to do this for a living. This is something I love. And I got a job at Burt Grant's in Yakima, Washington. And the great thing about that was that St. Michel Wine Estates owned the brewery. And when the winemakers would come down and pick up their beer, they would drop off wine for me. And I started to develop a really good palate and got introduced to a lot of variety of wines in our company and just fell in love with drinking wine along with the beer. St. Michel decided they were going to get out of the beer industry. And they asked me if I'd like to stay on board and work at North Star. And I knew about the project. North Star was one of the first pearls in the string of pearls. I knew the winemaker, and I knew I'd be moving to Walla Walla. So I was like, this is an amazing opportunity for me. So I jumped at the chance. My first harvest was 2001. We moved down here. Winery was built in 2002. And I became head winemaker in 2006. And while working at North Star, I went back to Washington State University, got a degree in horticulture, emphasis on enology and viticulture. So that's kind of my background. And then the Merf brand, which came about early part of last year. I was over in Woodinville having meetings, and Ted came around. Everybody knows Ted, right? Ted came and asked me to come into his office, and he goes, I got an idea I want to propose to you. And he said, there's a lot of these human story brands out there, namesake wines that are taking off. And we'd like to do one in our company, and we've got you. So we'd like to do Merf. And I was kind of taken aback, and humble farm guy from Iowa, didn't know what to think. I was like kind of surprised. And I thought about it. I thought this would be another great opportunity for me. And I knew my mom would be proud, and hopefully my granddaughter and daughter. So nice opportunity. So we got in fast motion, started working on getting the blends together. This was early part of the year, last 17. So we got the blends put together, met with an ad agency, and came up with the label. So I want to talk a little bit about the label. When you go to the ad agency, it was kind of, you never think you're going to do these things when you're doing production in a winery, but it was a fun experience, and they ask you a lot of different questions to get your personality and an idea of who you are. And one of them was, what was your first car? And my first car was, picture the label, it was a muscle car. So the label's based on first car I had, muscle car, and obviously Merf is my nickname. So, and the style of both of these wines, and I'll talk about each of them individually, but the style of both of them was, Cabernet is the #1 red varietal of the state, and Chardonnay is the #1 white varietal. So we wanted to produce some wines that are easy drinking, everyday drinking wines, and that's what we came up with. So the Chardonnay it's bouncing around. We started with the 15 vintage, 16, and we got the 17 going to go to bottle, but it's usually around 65 to 75% oak, and the remainder is in stainless. And again, my whole career has been about blending. So this is blending a wine, to create something that's in balance. So the Chardonnay has some of the wine is in barrel, so you get that creamy texture and kind of a buttery taste. And there's also the remainder's in stainless, so you can get that crisp tropical fruit, pear, and esters in the wine. So nice, easy drinking wine. 9 months in oak. Both these wines I've seen oak, which I don't think you see a lot at this price point. And it was in 9 months in oak stirred to get increases flavor. And most of the fruit is coming from, or all the fruit's coming from the Horse Heaven area in Columbia Valley. And the Cabernet Sauvignon, that is a Cabernet, obviously. There's a little splash of Merlot and Cab Franc in that. Sourced throughout the Columbia Valley. And this one, again, this is also seen oak. Each vintage is about 75 to 80% new oak to add some little texture and flavor. A lot of neutral oak, though, because I want the fruit to be the forefront of these wines, both wines. When I created these wines, I wanted to show the true expression of fruit from Washington State, because that's the one thing that stands out throughout the wine industry of the world. Is like everybody has similar practices, similar fermentation, but our fruit is unique. So I want you to be able to taste the fruit from Washington State. So that's what I try to do on both of these wines. And it's been fun going out on the road. We did a soft launch in November, December, and first 3 months being very successful, been traveling a lot, and now we're doing the national launch. So I will definitely see you all out on the road, and I look forward to that. And I will thank you for your time, and thank you, Casey, the owner, and Jessica. And behind the scenes, there's a lot of work that goes into this, Ed and Heather and John, and I couldn't do this without my wife, Lynn. So I think we can start some questions. And I can't see that.
Why are you getting a haircut?
Why am I getting a haircut is the question. Thank you. Pretty busy schedule, and well, for one, it's getting long and shaggy, and we're getting pretty hot here summer in Walla Walla, but I am traveling frequently. I'm in, I think, Texas next week, and I've got 5 days, 5 different cities, and really want to go out and support the brand, so I'm on the road constantly, and this is a good time to get a haircut and tie these two things in together.
Besides 750s, are there any other formats for Merf?
Formats for Merf. Yes, Merf, excuse me. There's several formats. We have kegs. Yes, we have kegs. Kind of goes back to my old beer days. So we're launching kegs. We're doing some trial markets with Twist Off. We're doing cans. I'm really excited about the cans. I think this is a good product to go into that, and it's about having fun, so why not? And if anybody has any suggestions out there, please feel free. Every market's different, and I want to be able to support whatever your needs are.
How do we schedule market visits for you?
Scheduling market visits with me has been going directly through me, which I think I've been doing a pretty good job of it. It's been kind of hectic. It'd be nice to have somebody help on that. But yeah, market visits, email me, call me, or text, and I'll get back to you. sooner than later. Got a full schedule into August, so, but if you need anything, just email me.
Do you see any other varietals for Merf down the road?
Do we see any other varietals from Merf? Never say never. Right now, this question comes up quite frequently, and right now I'd like to concentrate on the Cabernet and the Chardonnay and make sure that that is a success and we grow the brand. And then, yeah, I do see down the road that we can do some extensions on this and do some other different varietals that I enjoy, and we'll make them.
Great. Are you doing anything else to help support the launch in terms of customer pull-through?
Am I doing anything else to help the launch, to help with the customer pull-through? I guess we're doing social media. Most of it is my travel, things like this.
Do you have any other projects that you're working on?
Top secret, I can't tell you. Actually, we're always working on innovation, and yeah, I'm currently working on something that you'll see next year.
Do you still brew beer?
Do I still brew beer? No, but I drink a lot of beer. I miss it. I loved making beer. I still love the process and the smell. And a few years ago, I just don't have as much time to dedicate to brewing. I gave my brew system to a local wheat farmer here, and it was a 55-gallon system, so it wasn't small, but I gave that to him. But we got a lot of good beer in Walla Walla right now. The beer scene is taking off, and I'll let them make it, and I'll help support by drinking it.
Let's see. I think we're good. That's what we've got.
Wasn't too painful.
Want to wrap it up? Thank you.
Yeah, again, thank you for your time. I know we're all busy, and I look forward to working with all you, seeing you on the road. And feel free to reach out to me, and go to support us on Facebook and Instagram, please. It helps out. So enjoy your weekend. Thank you.
You can swear. Jessica, you were awesome.